Funky. Hip hop.
Hey everybody, welcome back behind the bar with me this evening. Tonight we're going back to a brewery that we've done a beer of before. Actually, it was this beer. Veil Brewing Company, Crucial Taunt, we reviewed before. I believe I gave that beer 100 out of 100. Tonight we're checking out, I managed to get a couple more Veil beers, courtesy of my man David. Thank you very much, sir. You are the man. But tonight we're checking out Dirt Nap, which is their Double India Pale Ale. Was this a double or a single? Double. Double India Pale Ale. Coming in at 8.8%. I appreciate any brewery that goes ahead and lets me know how drunk I'm going to get off of a beer. And just got these in the mail. This was canned 6/14, so about 3 weeks ago. So should be still pretty good to go and pretty fresh. I just got this in the mail over the weekend. So let's check it out. I did look up the hop profile of this beer. I believe, if I remember correctly, it is Citra, Mosaic, Galaxy, and Nelson. 4 of my favorite hops, if not my top 4 hops. Amarillo I would throw in there probably before Nelson. But this pours out haze for days, that orange juice, kind of orangish tangerine, like orangish yellow hue. It's real dark. I mean, it looks dark, but just because it's so hazy, the light's not getting through it as much. But I bet that's probably like an orangish golden straw mix. If it was just a little clearer is what it would kind of look like. Comes in a slightly off-white, big fluffy head. Looks killer in the glass. Already getting some glass lacing, which would be to be expected from an 8.8% beer. Yeah, so let's check out the nose. This is, it's called Dirt Nap, so I haven't looked really anything up about this beer. It has kind of an earthy element to it, though. Kind of a floral, like dusty, but sweet at the same time. It's got like this pineapple thing to it. Like an orangish but big pineapple. Almost like I've never picked up on it in a beer, but I was just cooking with it over the weekend. I'm almost getting like earthy vegetable kind of aroma. Like I know some people say onion, almost like an onion powder. But it's just kind of like a spicy kind of resinous thing with some pineapple. Sorry, I gotta turn some down there. But big pineapple, big pineapple. I'm getting a little bit of sweetness from the malts. I'm picking up a little bit of malt characteristic. The nose on this is very forward. It smells awesome. But I'm kind of, yeah, it's just kind of like a spicy hop, pineapple, like orangey, maybe a little bit of grapefruit, melon kind of thing. But just kind of then just like a vegetal kind of thing. It smells awesome. Great hop character. As far as like some of the hops, now that I know what's in there, I'm not getting a lot of like the Mosaic, maybe a little bit of that kind of dankness, resinous qualities from the Mosaic hops. And I'm kind of getting a brightness at the end, which I wonder if it's kind of that Nelson like grape skin kind of thing, and maybe kind of where some of that dirty kind of earth thing's coming from. Smells killer in the glass. I can't wait to try this. I loved my first experience with Dirt Nap. One thing I will say before I dive into this beer, the big criticism that I've heard from Veil thus far is consistency, that there's been a lot of batch variation. I know I was talking to David, and he was telling me about just kind of some batch variation in Crucial Taunt and some other beers that he'd had that he's just, you know, they're different from batch to batch. And that's still probably just them dialing in equipment, getting everything down to a science, trying things from batch to batch to see what they want to do. So anyways, regardless, David, thank you again, sir. Let's dive in, try our second Veil beer, guys. Cheers. Whoa, that is different. That is really sweet. Wow, that's sweet. It is going back and forth between, oh, and it really finishes really earthy, like dirt almost, like, not in a bad way, but like that, like it's almost like a dirty, dusty, like grapefruit peel. It's really bitter, and kind of goes into this like odd sweetness thing, and then just kind of finishes like with just dusty grain. I always describe it as dusty grain, but just like this earthy dirt quality. And it's kind of almost that onion thing that I was talking about, like a vegetable thing. Vegetal is the finish for sure on this. I'm getting a little bit of pineapple. I'm getting a little bit of orange, some grapefruit. I'm getting a little bit of that Nelson quality as well, but I'm getting more like just like the white winey aspect. And actually in the finish, I'm getting a lot of that too with that like. It's really assertive on the finish. This is really different and not what I expected after having... I guess I only have... Well, I'll be fair. This is my second one I've ever reviewed on camera. I did drink one during the UFC fight on Saturday, actually. I drank a Crucial Taunt variant that I have one can left of that I will be doing a review that I thought was fantastic. This is way different than the other two beers that I've had. This is really, I'm getting a decent amount of booze on this too. Like it's like an overly sweet, like, I'm not comparing it to this beer, but if you've had it, you know what I'm talking about. To something like Hop Slam that's high in ABV and doesn't hide it extremely well anymore. It used to, but now when you drink it, you can tell it's a big high ABV beer. I'm kind of getting that from this. The hops aren't covering that up extremely well. I'm getting a good amount of the malt pro. Oh, excuse me, guys. I'm getting the hop burps like whoa with this beer. I'm getting the malt bill at a good amount in this. And I think it's carrying it with that like grainy kind of bready cracker, like unsalted saltine kind of flavor. But really what's hit me with this beer is this overwhelming sweetness that fades into a little bit of like pineapple and some of these elements and goes straight into this just like really earthy thing. Is it's not like, it's got this like bitter like grapefruit peel kind of bite finish at the end, but it's not like like it's not bitter throughout until the very end. I'm getting a big resin on this, big and just dank resinous notes. Man, the finish on this is kind of weird, and I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of it. It's just got this like it's a real. I say I'm not a huge fan. It's not bad. It's just not. You know, you built a brewery up. You had one beer from them, and it's 100 out of 100. You have a second one late in the day watching some UFC fights. It's freaking fantastic in your opinion. I don't know what I'd grade it because my palate was shot at that point. We've been eating pizza and buffalo chicken dip and nonsense, so my palate was kind of shot. But this is way different than I thought it was going to be. Great body, medium to medium plus mouthfeel, great carbonation. I love it right up front, like right as it hits your tongue. I actually really like it. I get this big grapefruit, pineapple, orange, tangerine, and then it just immediately goes into like this really big, yeah, this just like really kind of overly, it's just, I can't tell if it's like a fruity aspect of the beer or just super sweet. It just tastes like really sweet to me. A smidge of alcohol burn right after that, and then it just like it's just a hint of booze, not an alcohol burn, but just like a hint of booze, and then right into this like just dusty resinous, like it is coating my mouth, insane finish. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever gotten what somebody said with like kind of like an onion, and I think onion powder is actually a better description for me that I've ever gotten from a beer, and I'm getting it in this. It's just like this vegetal note. It's on the can. It's like a dead wild buffalo or something. Bison. I don't know. But it's dead though. Yeah, no, it's not a bad beer. It's just really different, and I'm not. It's just not. It's not finishing quite how I want it to. But that doesn't mean that this isn't what they wanted it to finish like, and it's not, you know, exactly what they wanted. But I have heard there's some batch variation in these beers, and somebody that I was talking to recently about Veil said they had both batches of this beer, and batch 1 crushed batch 2. So again, they could just be trying a little different hop combinations and what exactly they want these beers to be, which I completely understand. It's part of being an early brewery. You're kind of testing with the public. As long as you're producing a good beer, which they are, just trying to dial in that flavor profile and exactly what you're going for. It just takes some time. So it's an extremely well-made beer. I mean, it's killer. It hits all the hot buttons on the New England style. So yeah, we'll leave it there, guys. As far as a grade, I'm probably in like that 92, 93 range, probably like a 93 for me. It's right there on like A-, A+ for me. It's just the finish. And this is still a smidge cold, so maybe I'll let it warm and see if that changes a little bit, but for right now, I'm probably pegging it right at a 93. And as it's warming, it's kind of opening up a little bit. So definitely if you're going to drink one, I actually just sent one out to a friend of mine today. So when he gets it, he knows who he is. Let it warm a smidge, as you normally do with New England styles. I was just anxious to drink this, so I did. So I'm going to review this, and I've got 2 more Veil beers that I'm going to review. Pay that man his money. Yeah. So leave it there, guys. I feel like I'm rambling. David, thank you very much for this. Another great beer from them. I mean, this is a great beer. It's just, you know, when depending on what style and what IPAs you drink on a daily basis. I mean, I've had a few local that I would put ahead of this. One that I posted a review of that'll be up before this one is, but it's not live yet. Yeah, so anyways, good stuff. 93 out of 100. Veil Brewing Company still doing great things so far. From my early experiences, so I can't wait to keep trying them, see what they're doing. And yeah, so thanks for coming behind the bar, guys. Thanks for the likes, subscribes, and comments. Until next time, cheers.